We are on a road trip up to Cheltenham to see your sister's new place, aren't we?
Yeah.
And we've got a few jobs to do. We went up last week to give her a hand moving in and get a few jobs done. We made up the bed, decorated a couple of rooms. Show you these windows. Obviously these are the original windows in this old Georgian house, but they have some secondary glazing. You can't really tell because it's obviously just one sheet. There's no sliding part or anything, and all it is just some plexiglass or magnets, and you could easily remove this in the summer. Few jobs to do today just whilst we're up visiting family, so I'll give you a little look at those bits. So this area here is being used as a dining area, but all of this was a vibrant purple. Unfortunately it was all done in a vinyl silk paint on top of gypsum plaster, but there doesn't seem to be any issues with the walls at the moment, so we've just put a matte paint over the top for now, and she's going to pick what colour she's going to use in the future. This whole room had a couple of fresh coats of paint on and white matte paint on all the brickwork, just to kind of neaten everything up. It wasn't in a bad state at all, it just kind of needed a freshen up. So one area which did have some evidence of damp or moisture in the wall was down in this corner here, and that's evident both from the kind of floor underneath the carpet and the bubbling sort of paint you can see there at the bottom where some of the plaster's blown. Now that'd be something that would be picked up on the survey, which it was, and it was put in there, and most surveyors will suggest like a damp proofing course of treatment, whether that be kind of drilling into the wall and putting a chemical damp proof course in, or even kind of taking a concrete chainsaw job and getting right through the brickwork and slotting in a new damp proof course. And a lot of the moisture meters that you stick on the wall will tell you that something's immediately damp, but that anything can trigger those moisture meters. They really are, they're not good indicators of damp, and even if it's just some dry salt that's come through the plaster on the wall, that will show as 100% damp or red, which it could be bone dry. So try not to be fooled into thinking those things are 100% accurate, because they're not. This corner down here is hopefully a simple case of some pipe work which comes through the wall. There's a pipe, gas mains pipe coming in there, 2 pipes actually, and they're not kind of flashed on the outside. There's no pointing around them, so that could be just wicking water in from that outside wall. Additionally, the main drain, which takes all the rainwater down, is down there with the downpipe, and the whole wall is just saturated out there. So sort out the drain outside, seal around the pipes, and actually that damp issue will go away, and it's not rising damp as a lot of people call it, and it's really not a big issue. This house is even older than ours. It's 1820, so it's a little Georgian house. It's really nice looking house, and it's had a terrace, I think, built on from it in the years that followed, but it looks like it was a detached house originally. And this whole area here used to be a courtyard, and the previous owner has put this lean-to single-story extension on fairly recently, so it's been done to all the modern regs with hopefully an insulated floor, solid floor, cavity walls, and quite a thick roof, so I'd assume that's fairly well insulated up there. But that's number one job of today, plumbing in the new new washing machine. In the future there's this slimline dishwasher to go in. One of the next jobs is this radiator's got to go back on. There's a bit of a funny smell. I think this is where they fed their dog. So there was a load of kind of dirt and fluff behind this radiator. So we took it off, and when we took it off, the radiator water was pretty much like Guinness. It was jet black and sludgy, which is not a good sign of the whole central heating system as a whole. So we're going to drain out, as the second job of the day, drain out the whole system, kind of rinse it through a bit, and then fill it back up with some new inhibitor, and that should sort that out. And there's also a cellar. We all love cellars. Find the light switch. There we go. Now I think this is really unique because I don't think it's a cellar as you would expect, you know, and it's shut off from the house. Because up here is some banisters which are on the half landing, and this section here, which looks like a wall, is just a bit of hardboard over the original banisters. So I reckon this was originally a 3-story house, or this was certainly used on a day-to-day basis, and it was just an open staircase. They've tried to kind of split it off from the house a bit, perhaps because they weren't using it as much in the past. But anyway, we'll go down and have a look. More shiny vinyl paint. That's an internal wall, so it's not as much of an issue. But as we go down, obviously the ground level is about here outside. Some generations of wiring and piping being added, as our house is. And this is the room down here. So it's about probably 2.5 meters by 3 meters, which I think is quite a neat little room. It's actually not as shallow as our cellar back at our place. It's just under a 2 meter ceiling, so I reckon it's pretty usable. And it's even got a radiator down here. Whether they used it just to keep the place above frost, or whether they used it for a heated room, I don't know. I assume that's just to keep it a bit dry down here.